I said hello to Harriet because I was on the board of Beit for a couple of years, 10 or 12 years ago. And so she wanted to sit next to me because she was pushed out of the bar and bat mitzvah corners. So,
Very cool.
yeah.
Is this you? Shabbat Shalom. So we're going to greet Shabbat with a translation by Chaim Nachman Bialik of the lovely Shabbat HaMalka, page 10 and page 11 in your Siddur.
האילנות נסתלקה בואו ונצא לקראת שבת המלכה הקדושה הברוכה ועם המלאכים צבא שלום ומנוחה בואי 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 המלכה בואי 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 הכלה Shalom Aleichem
sun has set, which means it is Shabbat, which means we have the opportunity to let go of this week that is done, this week that has passed. And the best part of letting go of the week that is done is that we get this 24-hour time where we are called, we are commanded to just be, to be with each other, to be right here, right now. There's nothing else you're supposed to do. All the emails, all the lists, all of it is supposed to wait until Sunday. See how long through Shabbat, into Shabbat, you can hold the awareness, the knowing that it is right and good to set it all aside until Sunday. That is your religious obligation. We welcome Shabbat. We welcome this time, this practice, this millennia-old tradition of ours of letting the week go and being called into the now, being called into the present and the presence of company, of family, of community, of sacred time on page 5 with the 2 commandments represented by 2 flames, Shamor v'Zachor, that we are to guard and keep that time and that practice, v'Zachor, and we are to remember, because sometimes that's the hardest part. We'll observe it if we remember to do it. So to remember and to observe this time together. So, Benjamin Hanning is becoming bar mitzvah tomorrow. And so we're going to ask Amy and Robert and Evan and Noah and Benjamin to come and help us light candles, the whole family, anyone who wants to come from the family to help us light Shabbat candles are welcome.
Join us in this wordless melody that leads us into the bracha. La 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 la
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק של
Sing, everyone, let me hear you. Let the angels hear you. Shabbat Shalom, Alan Yellen.
Yedid Nefesh, the beloved soul. We are given a neshama yetera on Shabbat, say the rabbis, an extra soul on Shabbat. Only on Shabbat do we have this extra soul. And since we are obligated, say the rabbis, to engage in every permissible pleasure possible in this lifetime, and that is the only thing we're going to have to report for, by the way, in Olam Haba, before we get into the world to come, says our tradition, is we have to account for every permissible pleasure that we did not take part in. So if you have a neshama yetera, if you have another soul that is ready to be fulfilled and enjoy people, memories, love, conversation, good food, imagine how much work you have to do this Shabbat. Page 7, Yedid Nefesh.
ידיד נפש אב הרחמן, ידיד נפש אב הרחמן, משוך עבדך אל רצונך, משוך עבדך לה 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 אל רצונך. ירוץ עבדך כמול הים, ישתחווה לי 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 לה 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 לי 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 אל מול הדרך. ירוץ עבדך כמול הים, ישתחווה לי 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 אל מול הדרך.
Our tradition uses the language of love all over the place for Shabbat, everywhere, because that is how we understand this time of Shabbat. It is welcoming the beloved, capital B, the presence of the one, capital O, into our lives in a concentrated way, in a different way than we experience the rest of our lives. We're supposed to be about the rest of our lives, by the way, the rest of the time. The ratio is 6-to-1. 6 days of being out there and doing what we're supposed to do to make the world a better place and to contribute to the world and to give of our gifts and talents and to monkey with the world. And 1 out of 7, we're supposed to just be about love, about loving being here, about loving remembering, about loving being together, being here in this space. So lots of language about love. Can we love the God within ourselves, as we meditated on today in our study on Parshat Noach? Page 41, Lecha Dodi, we welcome Shabbat and godliness into our lives as the beloved. And at the end, we will stand as we are able for the last verse, and we will turn and face the staircase down which the bride descends to the chuppah here at KI, when we do weddings here in our sanctuary. To welcome the bride, that is the metaphor of the rabbis for Shabbat, the queen, the bride of Shabbat. Page 41.
Sing with us, please. Lecha Dodi, לקראת קלה, לקראת קלה, פני שבת, נקבלה, נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, לקראת קלה, פני שבת, נקבלה. שמור וזכור, שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי, together we sing. לך
דודי,
לקראת קלה קלה, פני פני שבת, נקבלה נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, לקראת קלה, פני שבת, נקבלה נקבלה. לקראת שבת, לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי, לך דודי, לקראת קלה, לקראת קלה, פני שבת, נקבלה nekabla, nekabla, lecha dodi, likrat kala, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat, nekabla,
45.
nekabla, hitoreri, hitoreri, kiva orech komi or, uri, 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 shir daberi, kevod Adonai, alayich nigla lecha dodi. Together we sing,
Lecha dodi, likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat,
nekabla, nekabla, lecha dodi, likrat kala, likrat
kala, b'nei Shabbat,
nekabla.
Page 47, we rise as we are able and face the staircase to welcome the Kala.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam besimcha u'betzora, toch emunei am segula, toch emunei am segula,
Boi
chala,
boi chala,
lecha dodi. Together we sing.
Shabbat. We turn to page 57 now that you are on your feet. Whenever the rabbis want us to pay attention a little differently to what we're saying, they have us be in a different posture, right? We know that how we change our posture, our physical selves changes where we are in lots of different ways. So the rabbis have you on your feet, have us all standing so that at page 57 we can come together and declare ourselves standing here tonight, declare ourselves to be a holy community gathered for the purpose of welcoming Shabbat with the evening worship, the Baruch Hu, the call to prayer.
The call, that means we must sing and call together. La la la. Let me hear you. It's getting a little softer. Come on. Baruch hu et Adonai hamevorach. Baruch Adonai hamevorach, hamevorach leolam vaed. Leolam vaed.
We'll turn to page 61 as you're seated. And let's read antiphonally tonight. And let's have men start on page 61. We'll read responsively. Men begin on page 61. Women, we are touched by fingers that soothe us, even when we are too proud for soothing. We are counseled by voices that guide us, even when we are too embittered to hear. We are loved by an unending love. Embraced, touched, soothed, and counseled. Ours are the arms, the fingers, the voices. Ours are the hands, the eyes, the smiles. We are loved. Together, blessed are you, beloved one. Loved your people, Israel. Avat Olam on page 63.
אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אהבת, עמך אהבת. תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד, כי הם חיינו ויורך ימינו, ובהם נגה יומם ולילה, יומם ולילה. ואהבתך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל.
We are given this liturgy of love before the Shema because we are a people that affirms that this created magnificence is an act of love, that our participation in it is something we are given out of love. And we work hard all week in all of our many ways of contributing to our families, to the world. And Shabbat, we're allowed the time to enter a little bit more fully into relationships of love. On page 65, our affirmation, coming right out of that liturgy of love, that it is all one. This is what we remind ourselves of as a people several times a day, that it is all one, and then we respond to that gift of love with the ve'ahavta, with the commandment for us to give in love, in response.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Baruch Shem Kevod Shem Kevod Bar Mitzvah Bucher will lead us in the Ve'ahavta.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol meodecha b'hayu הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
I'll ask Laura Diamond, a member of our board of directors, to come give our bar mitzvah some gifts on behalf of the congregation.
First, I just want to say that was beautiful. Thank you so much for leading us all in that. I saw a few tears in the audience. I'm not going to point any fingers. I'm representing our whole synagogue here when I say to you that we want to give you some gifts to help you continue on the path you've already started. This is a tzedakah box, and I know that you will continue to do your tzedakah and your good work in the world even after your bar mitzvah is completed. You put the money in there, and it's up to you to choose where it goes. We also want to give you, on behalf of Kehilat Israel, a book about Israel, and these certificates together will include $1,000 to help you go on a peer trip to Israel. That some of that is from Kehilat Israel, some of it is from the Jewish Federation, and we really hope that you will use it to get there. You'll have a great time and see a beautiful place. And Mazel Tov, these are all for you to take. Thank you.
So Benjamin, we will see you and the whole Hanning clan tomorrow, right, afternoon, and you're going to help us take out Shabbat, yeah? All right. You can sit if you want. So we continue in our liturgy, as is our tradition, with the Mi Chamocha. And tonight, we can't help but think about those who were also refugees. Like us, our story, our foundation narrative is about being refugees from Egypt, slaves who were fugitives, who were on the run, fleeing for our lives. We are a people that tells that story over and over again. Every time we gather, we tell that story on page 79, that that's where we come from. So tonight, we can't help but hold the memories of the possible 350 victims who might have drowned off the coast of Africa looking for a better life for their children. 2 pregnant women, 3 children that we know of. Thousands more, 1,700 last year, 2,000 this year, who've died making that same voyage. Let us recommit ourselves when we come to our liturgy of Mi Chamocha. Let us recommit ourselves to building a world community where every child is given the opportunity to become all that they can be, to live in to their full potential. Nothing less is acceptable to us as caring peoples of all kinds. Page 79, Mi Chamocha.
Yam bye bye bim bim bam, ya bye bye bim bam, ya bye bye bim bim bam, ya bye bye bim bam, ay 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 ay, ya bye bye bim bam, ay 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 ay, ya bye bye bim, mi chamocha mi kamocha nehedar b'kodesh, norat hilot osefel, norat hilot osefel. Together, yam bye bye bim bam, yam bye biddy bim bam, yam bye bim bam, ay 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 ay, yam bye bim bam, ay 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 ay, yam bye. Raovanecha lokei hayam lifnei Moshe zeh yum bye bye bim bim bum. Yabba bye bim bum. Biddy bum bye bim bum bye. Yabba bye bye bim. Ay 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 ay. Ay biddy biddy bum bim bum bum. Yabba bye bye bim bum. V'nehemar, v'nehemar, v'nehemar. Kifodo Adonai et Yaakov ugealo miyad chazak mimenu Baruch ata Adonai Gal Yisrael. Amen.
We come to the Hashkivenu. We come to that prayer asking for added safety, a sense of security and safety as we move into the shadow of the night. Because the rabbis understood, like all peoples, that darkness for us represents vulnerability and the ways that we are challenged because we are weak, we are human, we are frail, we are fragile, we make mistakes, we get sick, we have brokenness happen in so many ways. So on page 80 and 81, the rabbis give us the Hashkivenu. And before we offer the Hashkivenu, we'll offer a prayer of healing, because there are people who are suffering, who are in that place of shadow, and who we believe we can support as they struggle towards wholeness and towards the light of wholeness and wellness. We as a community hold in our care Dion Sugar, Reuben and Ruth Freed, Judith Ubik, Harold Burlack, Joyce Snyder, Linda Joy Tacconi, Barbara Miller, Jackson Blumenthal, Sylvia Schneiderman, Carol Federman, Faye Kagan, Marcia Lieber, Dale Cowan, Roxanne Davis, June Wexler, Mary Kahn Tuckman, Jean Peerless Strauss, Janine Pierce, Julie Lowry, Blossom Trustman, Nicole Lieben, Helen Strauss, Dan Kogan, Trula Marcus, Larry Rosenstein, Rick Leslie, and Hannah Freya Epstein. Are there others we're holding in our care tonight? Mishaberach Avotenu Avraham Yitzchak v'Yaakov, v'imotenu Sarah Rivka Rachel v'Leah. May the Holy One of Blessing, who blessed our forefathers and our foremothers, may that same source of strength, courage, hope, light, and peace be with those we've named, those who remain unnamed, and anyone present here who needs it, with a refuat ha-nefesh v'refuat ha-guf, a full and speedy healing, a healing that's both of body and of spirit. V'nomar, and we say together, Amen.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim l'chaim Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim l'chaim u'feros aleinu sukat shlomecha uferos aleinu sukat shlomecha hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom ve'amidenu malkeinu l'chaim l'chaim. May you shelter us in peace until the morning comes. May you lay us down with love, and may you raise us up. Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom Hamidenu Malkeinu l'chaim 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 l'chaim.
Well, we come to page 91, where we take some time to offer our own meditations. We're so busy responding to what's coming in most of the time now that we rarely have a moment, much less 3, to sit and just be in the context of sacred community, to just be in the quiet of our own stillness in order to just be present to our own hearts, our own truths, our own longings. Page 91 is our opportunity to do that. We will rise as we are able. We will offer a silent Amidah, a silent devotional prayer, either working through the words on the page, through the concluding meditation, or simply closing our eyes and being present to the thoughts of our own hearts. Whenever you feel like you have completed your private prayer, you may be seated. I am honored this evening, as we just mentioned, the plight of those in Africa. As we read the words of the Pope, of course, it happened off the shores of Italy, and he said that we are trapped in our bubble, our soap bubble of indifference as a world community, and it's a fragile bubble. So we don't take responsibility as a world community for those things happening around us that put innocent human life in such peril and in such places of suffering. So it is most fitting that tonight, as I said, I'm honored to introduce our speaker, Harriet Rossetto, from Beit, which is both a residential addiction treatment center and a congregation located on Venice Boulevard in West Los Angeles. She is part of an organization that knows what it means to touch the lives of people who are at a place of incredible, often suffering. The treatment center offers prevention programs, counseling, court advocacy, and professional training, all within the context of Jewish spirituality. Beit Teshuvah even has a marketing and graphic design agency called BTS Communications. It's an innovative agency in that it offers an internship program for people in recovery while also producing revenue from various clients. That revenue pays for treatment for those who couldn't afford it otherwise. I'm delighted to say that KI's various pamphlets and brochures, all the materials that you see in our hallway, in our foyer, are designed and produced by this communications agency. We are a congregation who are fortunate to have clergy like Cantor Frankel, who have been involved with Beit Teshuvah from its beginning and has brought awareness of what they are doing in the Jewish world to our attention. And I couldn't be happier to welcome Beit Teshuvah's founder, CEO, and clinical director, Harriet Rossetto.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Thank you, Rabbi. Thank you, Cantor. Thank all of you for inviting me here and for inviting Beit Teshuvah, a month or so ago, to bring our service here to your community. You have brought us into your lives. A great rabbi's disciples asked him how he could so readily understand the problems of gamblers and thieves and other troubled men and women who came from the darker places of life. The rabbi explained, "When they come, I listen hard to them. I look deep into their eyes, and I discover that their weaknesses are reflections of my own. It is not that I have done what they have done, but I sense within me their lusts, desires, weaknesses, and temptations. I find in them myself. Once there was a man who came to me with confessions of his transgressions, and though I listened attentively, I could find nothing whatsoever that I had in common with him. There was nothing of his sins that were in me. And then I knew the truth. I must be hiding something within myself of which I was not fully conscious." I don't know the source. Do you know the source of this teaching? But I do know that when I read this, I knew that it was my story, and that I found my own soul. I met myself when I was visiting men and women in jails and prisons. And I also found, in trying to help them to heal themselves, a path in Judaism that brought me to wholeness. I identify